Sometimes we hit the controversial subjects. But the one thing that I've seen from Vitel from the very, very beginning is that these guys didn't want to be normal. They didn't want to just be another company. They didn't want to go out there and say, look, we've got a couple $1 million in our pocket. Who can we go buy? And sometimes that's cool. I mean, we could debate that issue all day long. But here's what I found. When you're willing to go find people with heart, you can change the world.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
If it's just about the money, sooner or later, the money will either dry up, it'll get a little tight, or somebody else has got deeper pockets. And all of a sudden, people start to flow. How many of you have ever seen me do a training? See, I love that. Okay. Because I probably do it just a little bit different if we don't have technical difficulties. because I'm used to using video when I do my training. See, the one thing that we know, no matter what generation you're in, videos and music have an impact.
Yes.
You hear the right song, and it gets you excited. Or you hear the wrong song, and it scares the pee out of you. And that's what we're going to do here in a little bit. But I want you to think of something. What brought you here? See, everybody that's here, not at this meeting, but at Vitel, has probably gone through some type of situation that, you know, to do it in a really good, positive Christian phrase, it probably just sucked. Okay? Somebody ripped your paycheck away. A company disappeared. A company wasn't able to fulfill on the promise. Some of you probably worked your way to the top of a compensation plan, had a big organization, was excited. Maybe the company just had to change. That was my problem. My last company is still in existence today, but they went to a B2B model. All they do is work with businesses now. Because even though we built a great organization, the trend changed. They were a technology company. Not like you guys, but they were a technology company. And because things change constantly, they weren't prepared. They said, we're going to have to do away with the network marketing on it. 2009 is when I decided I'm going to do something different. Don't know if I can make enough money, but we're going to go out there and give back to the community that we fell in love with at 5 years old. Most of the time when I speak, people do know me just like James introduced me as Troy. A lot of you know me as Josh's dad. Because this is the one company when my son said, Dad, I want to get back into the business. I said, well, there's not a lot of companies out there that I think that you would work well with, but let's make a phone call. Made a phone call to Scott. Gave him a little bit of background about my son and what was going on, and I said, he's looking to get back in. And all of a sudden, Josh found a home. Just like some of you guys found a home. Because you got on the phone with Scott, and all of a sudden you said, wow, this guy's real. This guy doesn't want to be just another network marketing CEO. I've got a client, great company. When I talk with the CEO and I say, what's the exit plan? He says, oh man, 5 years, we've already got one of the big brokerage houses on Wall Street. They're going to take us public. I'm out. I asked Scott, what's your exit plan? He goes, I don't have one. We weren't leaving.
I know that's right.
That's important, guys. And here's why it's important. Scott's not really a networker. He's not somebody that built some grandiose organization and then said, I think I can do it better. I'm going to start a company. He was a businessman. Now, he is from Texas. Things in Texas get big. So every time, and it's fun because I've talked to the guys off record and I'm going to put it on record. His poor staff, his partners, they never get time to slow down because he's always thinking bigger. He's thinking, hey, what else can we do? And see, you guys have something. Some of you come from the MLM wars that we had not too long ago. And y'all got hurt. Some of you have been great people, but because the companies no longer exist or somebody did something, people don't know who you are.
Absolutely.
I want you to watch this first video clip. Because when I started looking at Vitel, some of the specific situations in this movie stood out really big. Go ahead, Charles. Let's turn those lights in.
What's your back? You already have it. I'll take care of it. Yeah, you took care of me. Jimmy. We don't need players. They all flew home to their castles and their private jets, remember? Oh, we're going to finish the season anyway. We're going to use replacement players. It's what a business. Well, we got 4 games left. We win 3, we're in the playoffs.
Really? Win 3 out of 4 with replacement players.
That's not too much to ask. You won from me once, you can do it again. Got it, Jimmy. Look, nobody's going to give you a better chance than this. After the Dallas mess.
I was right about that.
There's nothing to do with being right. You went head-to-head with an $8 million quarterback. Who the hell do you think was going to win? But that's not going to happen here. I'm talking about a team of poor nobodies. Play to win. Not a bunch of bitchy millionaires. Come on, Jimmy. I'm thinking. Hello? Hello?
I want total control of my team. I want to be able to recruit anybody that I want. No interference.
Where's my bond?
I want it in writing.
Okay, Jimmy. Okay.
How many are there? Think about that. You've been hurt in the past, somebody let you go. You're a nobody, a has-been. They didn't think you were important. And Scott and his crew said, we'll let you build your business the way you need to. We'll support you. You're somebody to us. See, that's what makes Vitel so unique. He doesn't say, I got all the answers. Instead, he says, you can help us build this thing. You can be the brand new, lowest end nobody, and he's going to listen. See, every team needs a quarterback. A quarterback that's been through hell and back sometimes. As I got to know Scott, I got to realize some of the pain he's been through, some of the struggles he went through. And I realized he was willing to play the game to win. He surrounded himself with guys that he knew he could trust, that had been through that same pain, that same doggone, man, I thought we had it, somebody kicked me in the butt. Watch what happens when you get the right quarterback at the right time.
You look like a swordfish I caught once. Yeah, he hit the deck just like that. You know who I am? Yeah. Jimmy McGinty. Old coach from the Haynes.
And we met just before the Sugar Bowl.
Hell of a game, that Sugar Bowl. What'd you lose that by? 40 points? 45. Sometimes a game like that really sticks with you and never shake it off. Got 3 concussions to prove it. That's why girls don't play the game. Play to your coach. I'm back with a sentence. I want you to quarterback. I found the best guards available to protect you at a wide receiver. Even you couldn't focus on. I'm retired. Retired? Oh, looks like things have gone real well for you since. Complaints? It's quiet here. It bothers me. Well, that's a great thing about plankton, you know. It pretty much keeps to itself. You know what separates the winners from the losers, kid? The score. Getting back up on that horse after you've been kicked in the teeth. I've watched films of your games since the Sugar Bowl. You should have been carrying a clipboard that first year. Not trying to carry the whole team. Your teammates leaned on you and you crumbled. Is that how you want to be remembered?
Be remembered at all.
You're still young. If you do well, who knows what'll happen once the strike ends.
I don't make any promises, Shane, but why don't you take a chance? And then hang out here scraping crap off the bottom of somebody else's toys.
Think it over. Could be part of something.
How many of you are going to get back up on that horse? You've been kicked in the teeth. You've been beat down. You were thrown out there to play, to win, but you weren't ready to win. That's why most of you have left your practice companies. Now you're here.
Amen.
I said, See, sometimes we will get kicked in the freaking teeth. Okay? It's going to hurt. Man, there's some of you here, you come up and you say, oh, I know who you are. I'll say, man, your name sure sounds familiar. Yeah, I was with Global Birds. But don't, sometimes the greatest thing, it can look good on the surface. And then something happens. The intention of the company owners, the intention of some of the field. Nobody's playing to win. Nobody's playing as a team. Nobody's looking to say, I want it this bad. Nobody sits there at night and says, okay, what are we going to do tomorrow? They don't envision winning. James is so good at that. We talked about this yesterday. See, if you're not seeing it, then you're not ready. If you're not practicing every day in your mind what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, how you're going to say it, it won't work. I was in 10th grade and could not freaking talk in front of people. And would make fun of my English teacher. Her name was Pitzenbarger, who wore her pants way too tight. So I just called her Mrs. Pitts, and there was a reason. Okay. But I didn't want to be in front of that class. I couldn't speak. But one day I decided the only way to change lives was get in front of people. Well, it really wasn't. I joined the Marine Corps, and they really will change it. You know, you have to make the change. You've got to see it. Everybody in this room, I don't care if you're brand freaking new. You're here, that means you're a leader. You may be only leading one, but what you've got to do every night is what Falco's doing right now.
Hey! What are you up?
That's all right when he gets it done. Here's what Falco was doing. He was standing on the field where 80,000 people were going to be the next day to watch him play. And in his mind, he's running through every play that he's going to do. Because all week long, they've been going through the playbook. And see, in the back of his mind, all he can think of was that dadgum game he lost by 45 freaking points. Because in his mind, it didn't matter that he wasn't ready. See, Coach McGinnis could see that Scott knows who's ready and who's not. See, I've watched him. It's kind of funny. Because you got to watch the coach. Okay, it's not the company owner. It's the coach. Sometimes the coach happens to be the company owner. Other times it's somebody in the field. See, every coach has a group of coaches around him. Some of you want to be a coach. Now, some of you don't. Poor Brandon, he don't want to be a coach anybody. I don't get it, but some of you do. Okay. You say, I want to be like that. I want to go through what Brandon's gone through. You don't, but you want what he's got. Okay. But see, every leader I know in network marketing, sometimes, even the ones that don't agree with me all the time, had to go through some really crazy things.
Yeah.
To get where they're at. See, even those guys that are now getting paid big deals, those millionaires, those itchy millionaires, as Coach McGinnis called them, they weren't always that way, guys. They were all at one time just like you. And they built something. The problem is they forgot where they came from.
Right.
All of a sudden, they've become professionals. They are paid to play. And that's not a bad thing. You guys are going to be paid to play. See, the difference is you guys are building something that only a handful of companies have ever done. See, the majority of legacy companies in network marketing that hit the 100 million and then hit the $1 billion mark, they sell a product. It's real easy to become a pretty big company when you sell a product. But there's only a couple of companies that have become legacy companies on services. One of them is a company I was with for 15 years called Primerica Financial Services. They started out a lot like Scott did. Seated pants. Now, Art looks more like me, and he's a cute little bald fat guy, but outside of that, they have a lot in common. People said you can't do it. You can't use has-been players, part-time players. You got to go out there and do this full-time. And Art Williams said, I bet you I can change the world one person at a time with part-time players. He took on every insurance commissioner in the nation. Took on a whole industry. In 1977, there was 2,000 life insurance companies when he started his little bitty ragtag army. Today, there's less than 100, and Primerica happens to be the largest in every category that you look at. All with part-time, has-been, nobodies that said, we want to be somebody. We want to change the freaking world. And you guys can do that if you want it bad enough. You're not just a traditional network marketing company at all. You've got the opportunity to do what Walmart's done. See, if you go into any major city, here's what you see. As you start going into the inner city, you see a bunch of big banks, a bunch of big banks, a bunch of little banks. Then all of a sudden there aren't no more banks. They're just check cashing stores. Give me your check, give me your title, give me cash. I mean, think about it.
That's true.
That's true. Those boys in Bentonville one day were sitting there analyzing that, I think. Because there's more check cashing done inside of Walmart than anywhere else in the nation. There's more gift cards sold inside. Poor McDonald's got so frustrated because they stopped being the biggest mass merchant, but now there's more McDonald's in every Walmart. I mean, it's the way it is. Now think about this. Walmart isn't the classiest. I mean, their headquarters isn't in New York City. It's in Bentonville, Arkansas. Headquarters of Vitel is in Spring, Texas. I mean, that don't even have a ring to it. Okay? Spring, you know, I mean, but think about this. There's 100 and some odd people in this room right now. Every one of you have the same opportunity to change the world. When I walk into a Walmart store, I don't go in there trying to get the Rolex watch, the classiest stuff. I go in there for two reasons. One, I need something right now. And when you're on an island and it's tourist season, you go to the store you can walk to, okay, because you don't want to drive. And I go in and I get what I want. But here's what else happens. I usually buy, or I get what I need, but I usually buy something I want. And I usually walk out with change in my pocket. Vitel offers services that people can make money on, save money on, and it can help the bottom line in their family. Now think about that for a second. If you've got an opportunity that can change people's lives, all of a sudden you're not selling telecommunication or merchant services or any of that crap. You're really selling hope and opportunity in Middle America. See, at the end of the day, you're in here for a reason. You wanted something, you saw something, you needed a change, and you're here. You got two choices at the end of today. You can go home and be a has-been, a nobody. Or you can face your fears. See, at the end of the day, if you're not growing, if you're not succeeding, that's my wife. If you're not succeeding, it's fear. And fear's a lot like quicksand. See, we get in the middle of quicksand. I live at the beach, so we got a lot of swamps and all that stuff. You get in quicksand, and all of a sudden you freak out. And you start jumping all over the place. And you start going deeper and deeper and deeper, because all of a sudden logic just goes out the window. Same thing when you get in a riptide. They tell you all the time, if you get in a riptide, just swim sideways. Nobody does that, they drown. Okay. That's what happens. But if you just step back a minute, when it doesn't go right, all of a sudden your life can change. When it doesn't go right, if you just step back for a second and realize, you know what? I bet somebody else has gone through this. I'm going to call Frances on the telephone. I'm going to find out what she's gone through. Okay? I'm going to call Scott and see if he can put me in with one of my leaders who's been through hell and back too. I want to know what it's like. Because see, here's the one thing I know. There ain't nobody at the top that didn't get there with hard work, a lot of fear, a lot of sweat, but they did it. Now, I'm going to do something that we don't do all the time, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Especially since we got technical difficulties. See, I believe so firmly in this company that I'm going to give you all a bunch of stuff. Not everybody sucks at it. Not everybody's going to win. I want to know who's the newest vitel rep.
Right here.
That was a wrong question. Wasn't it? Everybody just joined this morning. How many of you have been terminated by another company and you came here? All right, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's too many. How many was at the top of the comp plan and got terminated? Okay, 2. Come here. These are 4 gig flash drives with that complete movie on them, along with an interactive training that I did. Because I believe so importantly. Plus, I don't believe in doing anything normal, so all these flash drives will go. In a company, top of the comp plan, got terminated. Sounds like Falco. Made it to the top. I'm the big stud. I'm supposed to have the Heisman Trophy. And then I got the I screwed syndrome because somebody did me in. It happens. But they didn't go motive. They went through that same emotion you do. What the Sam hell am I going to do? I'm calling Troy. He'll tell him. They got back up on that horse. And here's something you got to know. This is a little southern phrase, okay? You can't ride 2 horses with one ass. You better find one horse and get up and ride it, okay?
Absolutely.
I am not a firm believer in multiple streams of income. And if you want multiple streams of income, you have vitel.
Tell it.
Okay? I want to know who, now I already know this, but she'll get a big smile on her face. I want to know what female now has a car bonus. That's a big deal. Okay? Now here's why that's such a big deal. I'm probably going over my time. I'm screwing your whole thing up, aren't I? You know, here's why this is a big deal, but it was technical difficulty, so that's